Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Tonight we have a race in the Z2R Randomizer Tournament in Swiss Round 3 between Shatty and Paratroopa. Tonight we'll have our comms bringing you through this. Ghost, Dunk, and Star, how are you two doing?
I'm
Oh,
doing quite
pretty
well.
good. Yeah, doing pretty good.
Well, it looks like the runners are getting ready to start, so I will leave you guys to it.
All right, thanks, Jay. So today we have a matchup here between Shetty and Paratroopa. This is Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2020, Swiss Round 3. Both of these runners are at 0-2. Shetty having lost to Dr. J PhD in round 2, and Paratroopa losing. Where are the results? And Paratroopa losing to Nirm last week. So these two runners are both, this will be their last chance to make brackets, since you need to take 3 wins to be able to move on, and they are both at 2 losses. One more loss will mean that they are out.
And we're off. Now it's pretty exciting. Both these runners, tournament lives are online, so to speak, but they will be able to finish out the Swiss rounds afterwards. And we start with the North Palace in the top, looks like to be the top northwest. Okay, Barba has got the magic key. So Barba, any key is in Palace 6. That's very useful to know, so you don't have to stock up on keys or get the fairy spell.
Indeed, I'm not sure if that was the true northwest or just the northwest of the northern part of things. Oh,
true.
We have P3 or 6 and P1 right next to each other.
Shatty taking an unfortunate death. This looks like a really tough encounter for 1-1-1. Sometime if I get frustrated enough with these, I just up A at this point. But he kills him, gets a nice boost of experience. Excellent fighting from Shatty.
Indeed. And there's Saria, by the way.
Para coming through, going through the motions, grabbing the mirror, and getting themselves a free spell. Is it he?
I'm actually not sure, Pan. I don't think they have an opinion, actually, if I recall correctly.
Cool. Okay, and it is Shield. The first
Womp
spell.
womp.
Yeah.
Womp womp womp. Not really what they want to see.
Yeah, not the most useless of spells, but certainly, like the spell this early, not that, certainly a little bit less useful, but right now at the beginning, not a whole lot of usage you're going to get out of that. Shatty now going down, checking out the Palace. I'm guessing that's Palace 6, actually.
Little hard to say, I think, right now.
It is. I think Palace 3 and 6 both have a room like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we are hammer blocked, actually, so this is the southern half of the northern continent.
There could always be a connector cave somewhere else, but yes, it looks like we are on the southern portion, and players are going to figure out soon enough. Okay, and Para falling victim to the same encounter that Shatty was before, and instead goes the other way.
Yep. Managed to get 100 points, though.
Yep. It's the same XP boost that Shatty did. Shatty gonna find out about Shield in Saria. Looking at this Simon Belmont sprite makes me wonder what's actually a harder game.
Actually, Pyro just found Bagu. Mm-hmm. That's interesting, because this southern half of the continent looks pretty useless today.
Yeah, good point.
Is Bagu required to get to the north?
I think my first seed, like not having Bagu, was actually my first tournament seed. Not having Bagu was actually a severe impedance to playing the seed. So it could very well happen.
Yeah, because this bit is a swamp and a graveyard and absolute junk, basically. Is what this southeast, sorry, I keep getting my directions wrong. Southeast corner looks like. Shatty founding. Yeah, there is another town down. This is a venues.
Both runners
towns,
kind of
actually.
on each other's trails. They seem to be taking the same general path, and we've got Rauru.
Yeah,
I
and we
believe.
see another town right next to it as well. The NPC giving us a quick useless kind of nothing. Thanks, game.
Par gonna get another free spell, and Shatty will be most likely, coming up
Right behind.
directly. Yeah.
And we do see another town right next to it, which is either the back half of Rudo or Mido, as we see life in Rauru. Not particularly nice.
Yeah. No progression.
No, that's the problem. They're nice quality of life, but you'd rather find something a bit more useful than that.
Yeah. Early stages, I think it can be helpful, especially if it's got a low enough cost. I didn't catch the cost. Rudo, the town next to Rauru.
Yep, so yeah, I am thinking at this point that you are required to pass through Saria.
It seems very likely. I don't think we've even found a cave yet.
I don't think so either. I don't think we've seen the southwest corner yet. We're currently in the southeast-ish part of things, but we might well be bottlenecked into Saria at this point.
Para going all in on the life levels. Oh, here's a cave. Shatty finds it's an item cave. I forget which cave this is in vanilla, but this is gonna have some kind of item at the end of its path.
Yep, and Para is probably going to head there as well. He's right near it.
Yeah, this seems really like just a laundry list. No decisions for either of these runners to make, except for maybe using Bago to go through Saria early, and it's everyone's favorite item, the cross.
Oh my goodness. Cross is also as useless gets.
So just a lot of nice little what we call utility upgrades for our players, maybe with no progression.
Utility and zero progression. And I think they've both realized it's time for Saria, because there seems to be absolutely nothing.
I wasn't able to catch
half.
on. Yeah, I wasn't able to catch it on Shatty's, but I think that they've explored the entirety of the southwest corner of this part of the map. So it looks like Bagu is the key to it all, and both runners have. Yeah, they know it, and they've got the prerequisites. No luck for big P bags in this. Oh, wow, a bot almost takes out Para. Can't cast life. Life costs too much at this stage in the game, and the little guy gets him.
Also, oh no, being his file name.
I love that. That's just as good as KPR RIP.
Yep. Oh, alright. Okay, so we are on the other half of that other side of that hammer block that we had earlier. Time to explore this northern half of the continent. So Z2R maps are randomized every single time, so we are as clueless as the runners are. We find out as they go. Although certain things remain the same, like the number of palaces, the caves are still all the same, at least in the current version. They're still all the same landmarks. Towns don't switch continents. But everything else is randomized.
Yeah, items are going to be in the item caves throughout the game, so we know that Shatty is going to find something, but the items are also cycled through with P bags. And so we could find an experience point bag here. Oh, Shatty trying to avoid taking any further damage. Doesn't quite work out for them. Para earlier was taking a level, made sure to get that 10 XP to get that attack level, and decided to restart. Is going to be a little bit behind Shatty now, doing some farming, trying to get some more XP, I think.
Yeah. We're having a little trouble with enemies today. Attack 2 was not being all that nice.
Yeah.
And
there's the rat.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Yep. Para, that's go.
Yeah, I think Par might be a little bit. Oh, Shatty taking a death warp.
Yep. Yeah, Para needs to go to Saria right now, and I think he's realized it, because there's just nowhere else to. Well, they've realized it. Correction. They've just got nowhere else to go. This southern half of the continent is completely useless. right now.
Are realizing it right now. Got a little lost, I think, with understanding the case, but they're back on track. Death Mountain.
Oh. Thanks, Kate. That's fun. Thanks,
Now, I've
game.
seen those entrances boots blocked, but I've never seen them be complete dead ends.
I've seen that a few times. It's always fun. There's also a town right there, which has to be Mido at this point. So, Shatty's not even gonna bother. Oh, there's the medicine.
Gonna be able to make a beeline to Mido at this point.
Yeah, he is. Convenient, because it's right there to his left.
It's probably a pea bag or a red jar. Cross area. And the other cave, by the way, was the other side of the jump cave.
Alright, yeah, the northern half of this continent looks like it has Death Mountain, and not a whole ton else. The western continent's surprisingly barren today. Wowza. It's got life, it's got shield, it's got a cross, and that's about it. So far.
I believe Par has found the Parappa Desert Connector Cave.
Not sure where I was hoping this is going to lead him to. There's the spell. Speaking of useless spells,
I know. This is just this is the scene where everyone has to go shopping first before they can start the game.
I know, right? This scene is incredibly rude on that. Like, hey, you're gonna get bottlenecked into Bagu of all things, and you're gonna find every single useless thing in the whole entire game.
Really putting the runner through their pace. Okay, we found the cave next to Mido is the real entrance to Death Mountain, the one that's not blocked off. And the trophy cave has a pea bag. It's a useful pea bag.
And there's the other one.
So 3 and 6 are both on this continent, so they should be able to get the master key at some point soon.
Any key? Oh, yeah, hopefully, but they'll need because any key is in P6. They'll need the ferry to get to it logically.
No key drops yet for either of these players.
Nope, the drops are not being nice.
Yeah, Child though coming out in the magic container cave. Para is going to find the medicine here in a short shrift.
Yep. Yeah, Child kind of in the southwest of the north part.
The farming is paying off for Para in that he is ahead, at least, in Shatty in terms of XP. Looks to be behind, though, in terms of exploration. Yeah,
having spent more time grinding and less time exploring. But they are both trying to dig up the northern half of the continent here and seeing if they can find anything that's actually useful, because this game is being very rude and giving them everything they don't need.
Alright, Shatty, I believe finding I think this is the jump. Is this the jump cave?
I'm afraid I'm as bad at telling caves apart as you are. Probably worse.
Yeah. Oh no, it's the Idun cave.
And nope, okay, seriously, what is this game? Like, this is remarkably useless.
Well, at this point, the runners are going to have to make a first big decision of the game, which is going to be, do they go to the eastern continent, or do they look through Death Mountain to try and find something useful?
Yeah, hi chat. We've been just kind of commenting on how this seed is really annoying.
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting going on beyond the seed is annoying, so... As Parrot gets his third useless spell of the game, spell. This one at least it can be required, unlike Life and Shield, which are quality of life and nothing else. Yep, fast wraps, so for those just coming in, we've had a very boring start. We've gotten life, shield, spell. We found some pea bags, a couple one-ups, the medicine, which just let the spell. We got bottlenecked in Tobago to get to the northern half of the continent. And this sea just generally has been really stupidly dry. 14 minutes in and we have nothing of note. Other than a raft.
Para's fighting a grudge match against these bots.
Yeah, even the pea bags are being rude. They're doing a ton of exploration, they're not getting much levels out of it. Shatty fighting the dead end. That's the most immediate dead end you'll ever find. Walk in, it's immediately nope. I think he's heading off to the might be heading off to the raft pile at this point.
It was very difficult for me to see where that connector cave led to in reference to the rest of this continent because I'm pretty sure they're connected.
Yeah, I think we have. No, it's the connector will probably just be out somewhere else on the north.
Yeah, Shatty finding the other end of the connector cave. Gonna go through the rest of this map in the western continent before maybe heading over to the raft, maybe doing something else. Maybe.
What are their options left? Are head east or Death Mountain?
Yeah.
Those are their only two options in logic right now. I mean, technically they could dig one of their palaces, but not much point. And just the pea bag.
Mm-hmm.
Which is at least 500 points, so it's not as useless. But that's also about the most charitable thing I can say about that pea bag, is it's not as useless.
Yeah.
It's still not progression of any kind at all. Yeah, so Death Mountain or East there are two options, because they've done everything else on the west.
Shatty probably heading for the raft unless he wants to explore that connector.
I think he knows that the connector has got to be useless at this point.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if Shatty or Para went through that cave, but Para now finding the heart container cave.
Yeah, unfortunately, we know that this is useless, as is everything else on the west, apparently. Alright, oh, okay, River Devil right away. Thanks, game. That's, Also, this is a silly-looking map.
This is like... This is like it feels like a Zelda 2 remake seed, where everything is so linear.
Oh my god, yeah, this is just linear as hell. I mean, they both fall through the west, basically, other than Death Mountain for Shatty, and we'll see what Para does, but... Yeah, seeds being incredibly useless. And okay, this part of the map is useless. Thanks, game.
Kind of took a random walks up, completely lost another 500 P bags, so the map P bags not entirely useless.
No, but they'd really rather find something a bit more useful than P bags and one-ups.
Yeah.
They haven't even found a heart container or a magic jar. Oh, Shatty taking a death. In this random encounter in the east here. Trying to kill enemies for a paltry couple dozen points each. There's the River Devil for Para. Yeah, and yeah, this southeast corner is completely dead. Says it's everything else in this scene, apparently.
No, Shatty having real trouble
with God.
This. Just has enough magic to cast the spell.
Goodness. Not only is it rude.
Oh, can he get through? There he is.
Finally. Okay. But yeah, the eastern half of the southern south of the eastern continent is just as useless as the west, apparently. Like, that whole quadrant of the map looked completely dead. No towns, no item tiles, no nothing. Not even a cave. Oh my god, Jinxie.
Oh, poor falling victim.
Same encounter, or at least it looks like the same one.
I mean, this is probably the most dangerous encounter in the game, so.
Apparently.
I mean, I'd call it that.
Yeah. And there's yet another payback for Shatty. 500 points, but wowza, this seed is useless. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're really 20 minutes into a Z2R seed and we have no progression.
I mean, I will say this, we at least have the raft.
That's
no.
the only thing they have, the ghost dunk.
Yeah, Shatty's been all the way back to the western continent.
And has to go back through Saria, to go back to the north, to go back all the way to the southeast corner of the north, to go back to the east. This seed is just rude.
And they weren't even able to get ferry or jump on the eastern continent. Is Shatty gonna try to do Palace 1?
Okay, that's an idea. As Para is in the east, I think it's got an item cave here. Oh, this seed is just being incredibly rude to these runners. It is rare you see a Zelda 2 rando seed go 20 minutes with no progression.
Very true.
And I do mean it 0. Lucky key drop for Shatty as Para finally finds something that's of some kind of use in the form of a magic jar. Not what he wants to see, but at least it's not a 1-up. I'm sorry, but that magic jar is one of the most useful things we've seen so far.
I will say for Shatty's decision to go into Palace 1, maybe go looking for a useful item. All the places where a lot of places where there could have been useful items, there have been nothing. So that increases the chances that there's something good here.
The thing is, we still, I wonder where Darunia is, because travel could lead to that. And lead to a ferry in Darunia to finally open something up in the seed. Speaking of, actually, there's a old Kasuto here in the southwest of the eastern continent.
Free spell
Let's
for
see
Para?
Which is ferry, I think.
That's huge for Para. Para's gonna be able to go through. I didn't catch how much ferry cost, but at the very least, they could go back to Palace 6 and get the any key.
Yeah, and that would help a lot with their current. Oh, and there's another town, which is Darunia. Speaking of, can turn and can get upstab here too, with that newly acquired ferry if he can cast it.
That game over is looking to really cost Shatty.
Oh, absolutely.
Are gonna get upstab later, looks like.
Okay, I thought P1 was a bit more of a tan color, but it's actually salmon pink today.
Ara says, I found your kid.
And that's jump. Well, if he couldn't get upstab earlier, he definitely can now.
Yeah.
Go west to find the rat.
I've seen that before, but it's the first time I've seen that hint on the eastern continent.
Gee, thanks, game. Not like we couldn't have figured that out. Ever, right?
I feel like Dig Shake bumped up the probability of getting that hint.
Oh my god. Also, we do see the Valley of Death hint entrance here in the kind of the northwestern bit of the southern half.
What a weird. Oh, Blue, everyone's favorite enemy.
Yeah, also a very short, quote-unquote, Valley of Death.
Yeah.
It's not the shortest I've seen, and it's technically a bit of a forest leading to it, but that's still not much. Alright, Shatty, continue to try and dig out this salmon-colored P1 for an item. There's GP.
Oh,
okay. That's vanilla. Also. Ooh, there's the glove for Shatty and P1.
Yeah, glove is big. I do feel like Par is gonna eventually go up. Yeah, they're going to the Western continent anyway.
Yep, they're going there. Just picked up Fairy. They are going to go try that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause let's see, P1's not too far from start anyway. It's not a bad play to go to with Fairy. It's clearable. Might as well.
I mean, I think
can't remember if it's this palace or the one next to it, but gonna dig P3 or 6 instead. I actually still don't know which one this is. This dark greenish blue colored palace. Immediate key block's kind of funny though. Did manage to get a key drop from somewhere, so it doesn't have to cast Fairy, which is 45. So at 5 bars of magic, they can cast it once. Also, that wizard tells me it might just be P6.
Yeah. Interesting though. Like, I wonder, would it be smart to go get down stab before committing to a palace like this? My gut says yes, even though it's a way to go to Mito. You know, you have to go through Saria, and Horsehead has been found by Shatty.
Very quick Horsehead, very quick item, but then again it's P1 that doesn't take very long anyway. Although attack 3 Horsehead is being a little rude.
Yeah. Shatty getting a chance to catch up now that Par is going through a dungeon whose item may be glove blocked.
Yes, the boss might be glove blocked for that matter.
P3, okay. Wow.
Oh, this is P3. Is this P3? I can't tell.
It is. 3 is the one that's got this room.
Okay.
the only way I know.
Okay, so got it backwards, so then.
Yep. The whole of P3 is indeed glove blocked. And Para will find the glove. One hopes.
Yep.
So Shatty getting a little bit of ground on... Yeah,
Shatty choosing to skip P3 despite being able to clear it, interestingly.
Maybe they're going for the down.
It's possible. Also, feels bad. I didn't realize... I forgot you had to respawn the bridge every time.
Yeah.
That feels really bad, because they have to do that every time they want to get anywhere. Until they find that hammer, that's their only way anywhere today.
Yep. A good point from chat, too. We've I've kind of forgotten that Shatty does not have Fairy, and therefore...
That, too, because he took an unfortunate game over on the eastern continent before he could get to the southwest corner of it. And that's where Darunia and Old Kasuto are. Shoutouts, by the way, to even the child being not required today on the that we found on the west. The western continent really is 100% dead so far today.
Para hoping for a P-bag here? Probably.
I might have been hoping more for a key, to be honest with how things are.
Oh, just because Para like immediately turned around after seeing the key. Or maybe I was just...
Nope. Thinking about it. Nope. Okay, do that.
Okay. They don't...
Or... waffling a bit. Okay, back to that key, I think. With him only being able to cast Fairy once, I don't blame him for wanting to get this key, although this Red Iron Knuckle at least isn't the worst.
Dispatches them with prejudice. Goodness.
150, considering how terrible the enemy drops are, it's sad, but 150 might be one of the better XP drops we've seen.
Okay.
Okay, wants magic. Once Magic 4. I couldn't catch how much Fairy cost. I think he was hoping to get Fairy cheaper. I'm not sure if he succeeded. We'll see when he next pauses, hopefully. Shatty's back on the east in the meantime, going to try and dig things out a bit, and we know he needs to go southwest.
Oh! Finds an item cave. I forget if Para found this particular one.
He did. I think this might have been a magic jar. Which I'm sad to say, that was the most useful thing we'd seen up until that point.
Wow, Para dispatching a blue iron knuckle really well.
Nicely done, especially because this seed's been awful for both experience and enemy health. That bot they're dropping a grand sum of 2. Thanks, game.
Oh yes, I remember this item cave now. Yeah, it was a magic container.
Alright, Para getting the glove now. And coming up on the 30-minute mark, we are finally starting to get somewhere with progression.
Both these runners still almost completely linear.
It's been stupidly linear so far. You had to go to... Well, you had to go to Bagu to open up Saria, to get to the north, to find the raft, to go east. You could clear out the rest of the west, but there was jack all there.
Yeah.
And then you had to go to the east, you had to go to the southeast part of the east to go pick up Fairy, to go to P1 to get the glove, to presumably finish, to presumably figure out whatever's next progression. Like, this seed is ridiculous. Shatty.
I see some difference between the runners with, between Shatty and Para, but now they're both covering each other's tracks and they're going to be on the same path.
Yeah, I mean, the seed's so linear, there's nothing else to do with it.
How many lives?
Oh, no, he needs a death from this. Because he doesn't have enough health for Fairy. It's still...
Hey, no, he does.
He does, he's just waiting for that to get in a better spot.
Oh, he's just trying to farm this magician.
Okay, no, I just failed math at casting Fairy, because he has enough at 4 bars. Never mind me, I'm just being silly. There's upstep for Shatty. I actually don't remember if Para got this earlier.
I don't think they turned around to get it.
Odd.
I mean...
Because that's a really annoying town to get back to. Yeah, I know, Trails, I just failed math. It's nearly midnight, don't blink.
I didn't sure it lost, so I just wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, Trails, I am aware. I just failed math.
Found your kid.
And you're gonna get the 4th useless spell in this game.
Para doesn't like Power 3, and it makes sense if Para is going for downstab and then Power 6.
Yeah, to note, we know that trophy is required because we found every other spell in the game except for Thunder and Reflect. Because this seed decided to give us every single useless spell in the whole entire game first.
I don't think either runner checked the trophy hint.
Yeah, we have seen Rudo. We know where it is. I don't remember either of them checking it. They saw Rudo and noped out.
Yeah, they just did a Grandpa Simpson.
Just interesting, because we know they have it. We know that Jinxie, but the NPC who you turn the trophy into gives you a hint as to where it is. Alright, Para, you're lost. Where are you going? The Western continent is deader than dead, sir.
And I can say that I know that Para is lost because I recognize that movement, having done it myself.
Yeah. No, the Western continent's deader than dead today, apparently.
Shatty going right into the palace. Find out.
Yep.
Even though the GP.
No, we have not zeroing. Neither they eventually at some point came down to a choice between Death Mount, Hammer Cave, or East, and they went East. And as it turns out, going East was the right play. And that's not a useful cave.
That was Jump Cave.
Alright, Hera, are you going to go to what I remember? That should be P6. Not yet. Gonna turn in. Gonna get down stab here. Alright, Shatty is exploring the east a bit. Unfortunately, it looks like they're flute blocked from the rest of the eastern continent. Either that or there's a pass-through somewhere that leads to the north half because they're bottlenecked yet again. Because the southern half of the eastern continent looks mostly useless. I am not sure, Velvet. Alright, now Para's gonna head for P6. Which is kind of a pinkish brown today. Now I have a sheet where I'm taking some sort of notes in terms of like palace and town locations and like what items are where.
Oh, woof.
And yeah. And I write down the palace colors to help distinguish them because you don't always get a chance to spot a pillar. Now that doesn't help when you've got 4 purple palaces in one seed. Because I have seen that. It's like, gee, thanks. I have no idea which one this person's in because they're in a purple palace. There's 4 of them this seed. I have no idea which purple palace this is.
This is so I think it's a nice natural brick color. This is one of the nicer.
Pinker than brick usually is, I think. At least it is on my screen. It looked more pink when I saw it from Shatty, but it does depend on any number of things.
Yeah.
Okay, just kind of write down what general color range it is.
Ooh. Para, yeah, having to take a death to... I think having to take a death, I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention to how much magic they had left, but... Yeah, I feel like every GV USB 2 has slightly different quality.
Yeah.
That's just a theory I have. I can't prove it, but...
Alright, okay, Para having a little trouble with this jump, which is doable without casting jump. Oh, but it's just a little tricky. There he goes. Third try. And, oh, this is a terrible spot. Yikes. Has to take a death from something somewhere now to get magic back for that. To take a death to get magic back for Fairy, and Fury Boas are not a good spot for it. Or he can just go get that key.
And I'm surprised Para not trying to dig out a key from the other room.
Perhaps doesn't want to deal with it. Shatty has managed to find his way around some places, and to Maze Island, actually, which is a really convoluted. You have to go all the way east and then do it all the way west, go all the way east, go south, go all the way west, go north, then go all the way east again, apparently. To get to this Maze Island, because this is stupid, ridiculous.
Palace right there.
At least the palace is right there. And that encounter is completely useless because you can just walk right around it. That is P2, I think.
P2, 5.
No, that's 5 actually. Wait. Kind of a medium brown, and Parrot's hard to call it. It's on 6.
6? Or did they take a game over?
Not honestly sure.
Alright, Chad is gonna go see where the fairy, is gonna see where the, what item is here. Another place with the useless item.
Yeah, what was that one? Because I kind of missed it, actually.
The heart container.
Nice. Yeah. Maze Island continuing to be useless. Actually, I thought he got here by just walking around the really stupidly long way around, but it might have been via a passer cave that I missed. Pretty much Trails. Hi, Vicar Serrano raiding with a party of 7. Welcome into Zelda 2. Swiss 2020 Standard Tournament Swiss Round 2 between Paratroopa and Shatty. Oh, actually, no. Paratroopa is about to finding his way to Maze Island now. This is the stupidly convoluted route that takes you there.
Yeah. First two things on. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say it might take him forever to. And there is the
magic jar and heart container. Wowza, this Maze Island is dead.
Is that vanilla? I forget actually what's there. Yeah, it's vanilla.
Yeah, Trails. I was like, okay, there's a Vector. No, that's not Vector Santa Fe. Yeah. Welcome in. Yeah, Zelda 2 randomized, which is proving to be a really, really stupid seed. There's no sugarcoating it. This seed is really, really, really bad.
Fair enough. Finding an item cave.
Yeah, but Para just slightly behind Shatty going into Maze Island. Just a couple months behind Shatty going to Maze Island has already dug out P6 a bit, so... that's at least we're fairly even at the moment. Unfortunately, this is looking like 100% seed as... Ooh, Para finding boots right outside Maze Island.
Hopefully it's useful in getting around.
Well, it's not useful for getting to the palace, and the 2 items in there are dead, so... Might help him getting out of Maze Island at least, because that's the most annoying spot ever for Maze Island. You have to go... I'm not even sure exactly how you had to get there, but it was pretty bad. No, the river's on the very northern edge of Maze Island today. That's useless. Yes, Jay, you did your job at rolling a terrible seed. Their first seed for Z2R last night was a jet. This one's anything but. For those of you who just raided, if you have any questions about Z2R, do ask, as Para finds the heart container here in Maze Island. The other item's a magic jar, so this seed continues to be absolutely terrible. No, seriously, we've gotten no progression. We spent 20 minutes with 0 progression beyond the mandatory raft.
I feel like good.
And the glove is about the only other thing we found so far of progression. The boots may or may not be useful. And at this point, I suspect we're looking for a flute.
Yeah. And at this point, we're looking for a way to, be able to finish palaces. I feel like...
Because they can cast Fairy, but on Magic Floor and 6 heart containers, that's only 1 cast, and it sucks.
Yeah, I feel like it might have helped to actually try and dig out P6 a little bit more. Like, I don't know if... Or maybe go to finish Palace 3 to get another magic level, because it may come down to grinding out keys / magic levels. Because
they really... Because... Oh, that any key would help so much right now with with how the seed has been. They desperately need something. Because these palaces suck with fairy at 45.
Mm-hmm.
Even at 6 magic containers, oh man.
Yeah,
They can cast it twice, but that's all they can cast. They can't cast shield.
Yeah, twice, yeah.
They can cast it twice, but that's still barely, and they can't use it for anything else either, so... Like, Shatty has used either Life or Shield, I assume, or maybe Jump, and he currently only has 1 cast of Fairy. They desperately need either another magic level, or spend the painfully long trip to dig out the any key.
Para decides to do P5 later.
And it's gonna go try the north instead. Actually, that does bypass the River Devil for the moment, now that I think about it.
Headed straight to the palace.
And that's P5. That's P2.
Yep. Just making sure. And now another town. Is this the desert tile? It is, and it's
yes, it is. Hammer. Ooh, that could be handy. And there's Naburu right near P2.
Another free spell for Para. Could be one of the useful ones.
It has to be. We've seen everything else. Quite literally, this has to be useful because we've seen everything else.
It could be fire, and it could be linked to jump.
Oh, yeah, I actually forgot. We do have fire, but we haven't seen it that linked to anything yet. Oh my god, lol. Okay, so which town did I... Oh, we haven't seen New Kasuto, so yeah, I missed... We've still managed to find every useless spell in the game.
Yeah, it's, and it could be Hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, did we figure out what fire's linked to? Because I just missed it.
Oh. I didn't catch it.
Neither did I. And yep, there's the other side of the River Devils. Okay, so I wonder where the flute is, but ultimately, yeah, boots or flute.
Flute's needed.
And Three-Eyed Rock. Three-Eyed Rock is the thing.
A normal amount of swamp tiles for a Z2 randomizer.
Alright, and Para's back to this,
Oh!
Para, that's the River Devil. You need to go back to the coast.
And Shatty finds the boots. And there's the trophy. So no more mystery about that item. I think outside of the flute, we know where pretty much everything is.
No, we need the trophy. No, wait, no, we just found it. The trophy is where? Sorry?
It was on the water.
Which was in the... Where again?
It was it's just after the raft tile in that, like, that first crossroads. It's just south of the River Devil.
Ah.
That was the most convoluted way of saying that.
I mean, it's Z2R. The map is randomized every time. How do you... Try to describe how to... where something is a struggle.
Shatty gonna try to P2.
Indeed, the hint is useless in New Kasuto. But this has to be Thunder or Reflect, because we in this town, as we see a heart container walls. I also missed where New Kasuto itself is. Era can clear this in one trip, though, having spell. Enough magic. Add magic jars, evidently.
Yeah. Nice thing about having such a bad seed is that you've got everything already.
Everything that's not useful. Yeah, or a flute from no mode at this point. I mean, we don't technically, well, we're about to find out. That is Reflect in New Kasuto. Which means that Rudo has our thunder today.
I feel like the play here is go get the whatever's in this the spell and
just call it quits on Nukasudo.
And up A right from here, go get the master key, the any key from Palace 6.
Because that would be desperately helpful. Also, what did you
What's that?
And another magic container. What did you
exactly
get in P2? What does Shatty get in P2, by the way? Because I missed it.
Oh, did you get something?
Yeah, he picked up an item in P2. I don't actually know what it was. Ah, magic container.
Oh, I just have to look at his screen, and I would be able to understand that.
Fair, so everything they don't need. Again. As usual.
Shatty finds Raru and then Rudo.
Okay, just is going to get the trophy. This is a very, very good idea. Because he knows he's trophy. Actually, no, he has a trophy. Duh. Wow. Lost. He's just going to turn it in and get Thunder, and then, well, flute hunt time.
Well, the biggest wrinkle is if the flute is somewhere in Death Mountain.
Oh, if it's been on the Hammer Cave this whole time, I would laugh so hard. No, seriously. Considering that was their other option at the 20-minute mark, and they both went east instead, I would laugh so hard if that was if that had their flute.
I mean, early Death Mountain always a gamble, especially without the hammer.
Absolutely, but it was an option to them. They had a choice at about the 20-minute mark after finding a 100% junk on the Western continent. They had a choice. Yeah, they had a choice, and they both went east over Death Mountain, which made a lot of sense. But it does make you wonder.
Yeah.
That one thing they left behind on the west might have had something. Also, this is an exceptionally bright green P2 today. Very fresh, whereas Paris got a kind of darker greenish blue color going.
Yeah. Well, I think Paris in Palace 3.
He is. I'm just kind of commenting on colors. This is definitely not the same Palace, even with tech differences, it's still not this much of a difference in color. Yeah, we're a flute from no mode, because Three-Eyed Rock exists to date. And that has Palace 4.
And it's a magic container in P3.
Yep. More nothing. So we are starting to run out of places for that trophy, for that flute to be. It can't be P4. We haven't seen. Did we see the item in P5? I don't believe we did.
No, I believe the runner bailed before.
Yeah, Shatty bailed. So we are missing the item in P5. I think we might be missing like one item cave on the east, and we've got Death Mountain.
I mean, with the magic container in P3, and you know that the any key is in P6, Death Mountain wouldn't be just finding at least the hammer cave wouldn't be such a bad idea.
No, there's not many spots left for that flute to be.
And I think most runners would rather the flute be in Death Mountain than in P5.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it's Death Mountain P5. Para doesn't have a tracker, but Shetty does have one, showing all of what he's found, and I know that's not complete. It looks like he hasn't marked a trophy cave, but I'm pretty sure we saw that and that it was useless. As everything else on the Western continent was, because they 100%ed it without, other than Hammer Cave early on. And he hasn't marked Death Mountain itself, obviously, and he's missing the desert and water tiles. I don't think the desert tile was anything. Water tile had,
desert tile had hammer.
Oh, desert tile had hammer, and then water tile had trophy.
Yep.
Then he's missing Nukasudo, which is 2 heart containers. He's got 1 item cave left on the east. I'm not sure if we've seen that 1 item cave yet, but we've seen just about everything else. If that item cave is still a thing, it is that, P5, and Death Mountain.
Alright.
Those are the only 4 spots left. The 1 remaining item cave in the east, P5, and Death Mountain are the only 4 spots left in the game for that flute, it looks like.
Yep.
We've seen everything else in the game. Does chat know if we saw both item caves on the east? Because I actually don't remember.
We did.
Yeah, Spectral Rock and DM. There's 2 checks in Death Mountain. Okay, so if we did see the item cave, then yeah, it's P5 or Death Mountain. And I'm not even counting that's it. Alright, Para doesn't feel like walking through Saria. It's just gonna finally be able to take that hammer and use it. Feels good in all likelihood after having to go through that a few times.
Shatty gonna be finishing up P2 in short order, it looks like. Hopefully.
It does indeed appear so. Helmet Head being a little annoying today, actually. Alright, so hopefully Shatty's gonna find his hammer pretty quick, because it's just west of here.
Yeah, I have to assume Shatty's going to take the same route that Par did. Both runners so far have shown pretty identical pathing.
Yeah. Actually, no, wait, the hammer's not right next to it. What is right next to P2 is we have his fire. Para in the meantime, back in P6 is gonna hopefully get his any key and then get out of the Western continent. Hopefully for good, because he doesn't want to come back here. Although we'll see if he digs out Death Mountain for the flute, because he hasn't seen what we have, but there's not that many spots left for him to do.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to know that he's starting to run low on places for that flute.
Yeah, Par, doesn't know that P2 doesn't have it.
No, but he might just... It's P5 or Death Mountain. And,
okay, Fire
both
doesn't...
options suck.
Fire doesn't do anything obvious, so it could still be Reflect, Life, Thunder, or Spell.
Hmm. I actually didn't catch them at the 5, but it's evidently castable for Para. It still has a little to spare. This has just been a really, really rough seed for these runners. 58 minutes, 2 gems each. And we're not even in go mode.
Bear does not want to deal with that room. Turns around and decides he's gonna pick a different right to go.
Yeah. Oh, but doesn't have magic for it either. Okay, he's going. Oh my goodness, he really, really needs that NE key. They both do.
Alright, he's gonna cast jump to try and get past this blue iron
Not
knuckle.
a bad
jump,
play.
yeah, and jump over the pits.
Really not a
Success.
bad idea, because this seed's been terrible, and he wants that NE key badly.
Alright, finds the first mini boss. Hopefully we'll get through this without dying, but that's gonna be tough.
Yep. Shetty is about to find the trophy.
Oh! Blue iron knuckle goes off the screen before Para can get the kill and gets it. That's a big fight for Para.
Oh yeah. This is the second mini boss Ravenek, though.
Yeah. Fortunately, not the
yes.
item.
No, Para really, really. I wonder if he'll go back in for that NE key, considering how useful it would be with how this seed's been.
Yeah. Are hoping for maybe a key in this room or a pea bag. Well, it's a pea bag.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I'll spend it all in one place.
Yeah.
And just takes the death.
Yep. Might as well at this point. Oh no is a pretty good sum of this seed, I might note. Our race streamer Jay, I've seen some of his seeds for other randos, and they have something of a tendency to be terrible. Hey, this is no exception. This seed sucks. By the way, happy 1 hour.
Yep.
At least they should show sub 2, considering considering how much they've done already. Hopefully. Nope, Fairy is still 45 at Magic 5. This seed is
that
terrible.
feels bad for Para, because Para could have just buried from the beginning.
Yeah. What can you do, though?
Yeah.
It's just this seed is as rude as it. This seed is just being terrible.
I just realized Shatty just now getting down thrust. That's...
He could have gotten this a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like a really long time ago.
It is. Para now has the NE key.
Does he?
Well, no, Para will, sorry. Para has access to the NE key, provided that he can win this great battle against the blue iron knuckle.
I thought this was called a Ravenek.
It is, yes.
Well, it's a Ravenek on a blue iron knuckle on a horse, so...
I mean, his horse is gone now, so...
Yeah. But alright, there it is. Took a good bit of damage, but does get it. Because he needs that NE key.
The last key that Para will ever need.
Finally. Okay, this is going to make life a hell of a lot easier for Paratroopa.
Yeah.
It took him ages to get it out of here, but, But that is going to help him a lot, not having to worry about magic management, not having to worry about key management. This is going to make life so much easier for Paratroopa. Like, he took a really, really long time to get that NE key out of P6, but in my opinion, it was worth it. With how this seed has been, and with Magic Fairy still being really obnoxious to cast at Magic 5, yeah, get that NE key. It's worth the time investment at this point. Hera, okay, just gonna reset P6.
That was a weird pirouette.
Yeah, I was a little confused what he did there. Just decided to up an A very, very deep in P6 and restart it. In the meantime, Shatty seems to be lost. Or something.
Yeah.
That's the back half of Saria that is not useful anymore. No, it's still not useful now, so... Because we know Shetty needs to find his way to turn in his trophy for Thunder and then also go to New Kasuto for Reflect. And I'm actually not sure where New Kasuto was offhand.
Oh, I apologize to Par. I said, "Oh, you don't need that," but he turned around just to get a good jumps to get over the ledge.
And thank you, Jay. Shoutouts might as well to our runners, Shatty and Paratroopa, who are putting up with this terrible, terrible seed. To my Cocom Ghost Dunk, to our tracker Jinxie Girl, and to our restreamer Jay, who is responsible for this entertainingly awful seed. Shetty is going to try and is going to go to P6 now. Also, really, really wants that any key.
Yeah, that's proven to be very important. It's going to speed up all of the palaces in the future, so it's no surprise that both runners really wanted this. The any key
yes, it was.
Yeah.
That's why they're going for it so hard, as they really, really need it. Unfortunately, it's really deep in P6 too.
Yeah, P6.
Paratroopa spent several minutes digging that out and still hasn't found Barba.
Yeah. Trying to find Barba a different way than the one before. I don't know that would have led to that up and A might have been to just start over, because maybe realizing that hallway would not have led to Barba.
Trying to kill some of these flying heads for... I don't know. 20 XP, that's not worth it.
No, I mean, I understand Para's pain, because this stretch is very scary, and if you don't kill those heads, you're going to find yourself taking a lava bath if you're not, like...
That
really
is
good.
true, because those can knock you out. Okay, there's Barba.
Yep.
So that open A was a good choice, because here's Barba. Gonna take the fairy cast mid-fall to get to that here, pretty much. In that lovely little room where you just fall down a hole and you fall down another hole if you don't cast fairy immediately.
Yep. And then almost a vanilla Barba from that room. Oh!
Ooh.
Para taking a nasty spill. Took some fire to the face that it didn't quite want.
Yeah, Barba wasn't being nice with popping out of lava either.
Yeah. One of the things you learn doing all keys is that maybe all Zelda runs, that if you hold right from the second you enter the Barba room until the camera stops, Barba will always come out of the right lava pit.
Oh man, still 4-5-5 for these runners because the seed's also being mean with experience.
Yeah.
Which is making Barba miserable. Started with only 5 bars of health, but unfortunately those 5 bars are being awful to get rid of. Oh, Para really trying to not get knocked off. Life's not the problem, getting knocked off is his bigger problem, but he does get it. Phew. Alright, Shatty is trying to hunt down that any key. He is going in the right direction at least.
Mm-hmm.
So the any key is somewhere in this vague direction.
P6 very vanilla-ish in this seed.
Alright, that is it for the Western continent for Paratroopa. He is gonna leave and never come back.
The flute's still at large, though. They may need to come back.
That is true. He does not want to come back. He is gonna leave Death Mountain behind and hope it's in P2 or 5. Or they are gonna come back. I think they have any particular preference. The one time I asked, actually. Seeing that River Devil being through today. That one wasn't required, but you needed the boots to get around it, which I don't think is much better.
Yeah. Shatty, looking for an extra key, doesn't find it, but does find an extra life that's immediately taken away.
Yep. At 0, at least, instead of a negative.
This is such a grindy seed. There's not a whole lot of decision making or being blocked. Like, they've got all the items they needed almost right away. It's just they had to get everything.
Well, no, they got nothing for the first age,
Well, yeah.
and they eventually got things. Now they have most things. They just need to get one last thing.
Oh! I really thought Shatty might die there.
Alright, Para's back in P2. This makes sense. I mean, for him, it's this or Maze Island, and he'd rather dig this out than Maze Island, and I don't blame him for it.
Yeah, Para is going to find the bad news that the flute is not here.
And at that point, I think he knows it's gotta be P5 or Death Mountain once he gets this out.
Which, it's a difficult proposition. I mean, you're already out here. There's a lower chance that the item is in P5.
But on the other hand, you also need to beat P5, and Death Mountain is a pain in the butt.
Very true.
Like,
Shatty not getting the ferry off in time, but unbeknownst to Shatty, that does not lead to the item.
that's his way to Barba. He still wants that any key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can see his face cam because we can see the runner's full streams while they're prepped on restream, and he doesn't look particularly happy.
Yeah, this is...
Alright, and we should be back. Hopefully. Chat, let us know if you can hear us. Not that we're seeing anything new as Shetty attempts to find his any key and Paratroopa is gonna dig out a mostly dead P2. Also to note, Paratroopa took life 6, which is gonna make it much harder for him to get those those attack levels that would be really rather nice right now.
Yeah. Oh man, can you...
Because that threshold for getting that, because the threshold because you get a free level when you deposit a gem is going to be for life 6, and it's going to be much harder to get attack. Like, if life was lower, you could have gotten picking up a free life level on the way to attack 5 or 6 or whichever.
Yeah, doing Guma with attack 4 is not fun.
Yeah, no, it's gonna suck. But then again, this whole seed has... So that's not exactly news.
Okay, Shatty's gonna find Barba in short order.
Yep. Para, by the way, finding the bad news that... Yep. Having found out the bad news that P2 is his last magic jar.
At least he can finish up the palace here. And yeah, I think if you're Par, you go to P5, you try to beat P5, and if you happen to find the item room along the way, so much the better. And if you don't, maybe you check Death Mountain next. It really boils down to whether these runners think they're behind or...
Right, because Shetty hasn't found New Kasuto yet. I actually missed where it was from Paratroopa. And, so Shetty still thinks that those 2 items are up for grabs for that flute. Oh, taking a...
Almost an identical death to Para.
Yeah. Also, we are going to hit tracker percent today for these runners. I think. Has Shatty actually picked up the any key, or did he decide to give it up?
No, I don't think Shatty decided to give it up. I think he just found Barbara first.
Okay, so yeah, well, I think he might just go back in, considering how many key problems they've had this seed.
Yeah. If Shatty was able to keep track of P6, he'll know that the any key is behind that chasm jump. I'm not sure what to call it.
Me neither.
He tried to make it and then fell down it, which led him to finding Barbara first.
Yeah.
So outside of the obvious fact that Great Palace, is the great equalizer, I think the only way that Shatty is really going to regain ground is guessing where the flute is at first.
At this point, Go DM that one is probably his best bet for catching up, because Para's is a P3 ahead basically at this point, and is P3 and Nukasudo ahead. Also, technically a trip to P3 and Nukasudo. Yeah, P3 and a trip to Nukasudo.
Yeah.
Shatty's reflect.
My guess is that Shatty is going to go for Nukasudo and P5 to see if he can find the flute, because I believe he saw 3-Eye Rock.
He did. Alright, Paratroopa is gonna head for P5 now, I believe. Yep. P2 and P5 are right near each other.
Yeah.
At least Maze Island was nice with the palace. Right at the start, no searching, no digging, no nothing. Just walk right to it.
Yeah, the real decision is going to be if Para finds Barbara instantly.
You mean Guma?
Or that guy. It's I get Karak and Rebanak confused all the time, and I always call Guma Barbara because he's got that barbed helmet.
Well, that's definitely not it for Para. Shatty, where the hell are you going?
Yeah, North Palace is up there. Oh yeah, probably trying to find where P3 is.
Okay, apparently just his sense of direction doesn't seem to be the best today.
Ooh, shit, wait. I just noticed Shatty not going back for the any key.
No, Shatty left it behind.
I mean, they do have a lot of magic, so maybe they feel that, with enough lives and enough fairies, you can get through most palaces.
It is possible, but oh man. It's an interesting choice for sure.
I mean, my guess is at this point, an hour 17 minutes in, hasn't seen the dot done yet. Shatty probably feels that he's behind, and so this is a good way to catch up.
It is. But yeah, with 7 magic jars, it's not the worst that he hasn't managed to dig up that last.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna get his 8th magic jar in here if he decides to go for it.
Yeah.
I think out of our 3 remaining item checks, P5 and the 2 in Death Mountain, one's our last one's our last heart container, one's the flute, and the other's some kind of junk.
Yeah. Oh man, imagine the junk is in P5. Oh goodness.
Oh my god. Yeah, because there's the last man. Eddie, the 2 heart containers he's missing are both in Nukasudo. Pyro just found another dead end. And we have 100% of the seed.
We're gonna see every room in P5, aren't we?
Yes. I think we saw every room in P6.
I hate this room too, Farah.
At least this is an efficient 100%. If nothing else, at least this is efficient.
Yeah.
Shatty last week 100% his seed in the most inefficient way possible by hardless locationing a Mido that was right next to start.
Oh no.
Straight up forgot the town existed. Walked past it and the glove right next several times. Basically, there were two kind of little valley, like little harbors, like not harbors, but kind of two little alcoves, and where you went west from start, and then you had two turns. The first one took you to Mido and the glove next to it. The second took you to like Death Mountain or something. Mm-hmm. He just kept walking past that first turn.
One of the seeds I played during this tournament, I completely bypassed Ruta because it was in a section where there were like 4 town tiles, and I just never caught on them.
I think you mentioned that. That's ouch. Yeah, Shatty hard last location Mido, even though he walked right past it going for his glove, which he also knew about last location, despite it being right near start, because he just never took that first turn.
Yeah.
Mind you, his opponent forgot they got Thunder right at the start, because I think it was in Rauru, right next to Northern Palace.
Oh wow!
His opponent forgot Rauru. They had Thunder since about the 30-second mark, and also 100%ed the seed. And because at least with Shatty, we knew why he was brain farting so hard. We couldn't even tell why his opponent was 100%ing the seed. For all I knew, his opponent was 100%ing the seed for fun. 2.5 hour first finish. It was an hour. It was sub 130 seed.
Oh, fire is life, by the way.
Okay. It was a sub 130 seed last week for Shatty. Him and his opponent both just Genghis brained the heck out of it.
Shatty about to fight Rebanak.
And at some point, it's just like neither of them want to win. No, they don't. They really, really don't, apparently. One has managed to Genghis brain the hell out of a town he saw very late. The other is just looking to 100% the seed for fun or something at the rate. Just apparently never read a spell list.
Alright, Rebanak down for Shatty.
Thought he was still missing Thunder and was looking for, I don't remember, a trophy or something for that, and didn't realize it was he'd had it since the 30-second mark or something. Like it was in the town right next to start. Face palm. Yeah, you know the not like this emote? That was everyone watching the race, was the not like this emote. Just why? One, brain fart's bad enough. 2 is just painful.
Yeah. And I think, as predicted, Shatty probably heading to the raft tile to go.
I expect so.
New Castillo, yeah.
Yeah, because it is 2 items and his reflect. This makes sense.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what he needs to do is to go Death Mountain and hope his flute's there.
I think the difference in this race so far is Shatty on 2 trips to the East Continent did not get the same amount of success and items that Para did.
Right. That early game over really hurt.
Yeah.
The early game over, and before he was able to get to the southwest of the Eastern Continent, when you're trying to describe where stuff is, you end up using cardinal directions a lot. Southwest of the Eastern Continent makes no sense.
Yep. Para finds item cave not so hard, and it's here!
It's here! That's flute! That's flute! That's GG. That's so much for Para and GG's as well.
Yeah, it's good and bad news for Shatty. Good news is that Shatty will probably... he's found New Kasuto.
Alright, time for me to find out where the heck this actually was, because I completely missed it earlier.
But good news for Shatty is that he'll probably do P5 before going to Death Mountain to check for the flute. Bad news is Para did that too.
Yeah, his hope was that flute was in Death Mountain and that P5 had the heart container or junk.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with the map being randomized every time, my notes on where things are usually is which continent is it? Is it in the northern half or the southern half? And which part of the northern half or southern half is it? So it might be the northern half of the south part of the west, for example, is one way I would write things.
When I first started trying to practice this, I'm used to watching people do Dragon Warrior seeds, and so I was drawing like the whole map, and I think that's relatively inefficient. And so what I've been doing now has just been like, okay, this is north of here and this is west of here. Oh, I might go back to drawing a map just in case like I forget where I've looked.
Mm-hmm.
Guma proving to be difficult for Party even with attack 5, but
I mean, it is attack 5.
Yeah.
Seeds being ridiculous. Shed's gonna be up to his final heart container of the seed, hopefully. And that is Guma down for Para.
Magic 6 easy pick, I think, for Para.
Yeah. And is now going to go off to P4, which is all the way, which is a good ways out, actually.
Yeah.
But there's no good way to get to there. It's near the raft, but the raft spot itself is stupid to get to from the west, so yeah, I might as well just walk.
I think that there's a chance that with the boots, it's an easy walk from P4 to Great Palace.
It might be, yeah. I can't remember just how, because I can't remember where the nearest bit of water to the Valley of Death entrance is, but the Valley of Death itself is really short.
Yeah.
The Valley of Death entrance is in the northwest bit of the southern half, is how I would probably describe that location.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know directions start to sound meaningless once you get at some point with... but that's kind of how my notes work is which continent, which half, and which general part of that half.
Yeah.
Which ends up looking a little stupid at some point. Purplish blue P5 today. P4 today. Oh, I actually forgot the last heart container could be in here.
That's true.
I've got heart container and 2 junk items left. Oh.
It's too many junk items.
We've seen so much junk. I mean, the first 20 minutes was...
Yeah.
Shetty not getting the any key, it won't matter ultimately. There were other problems going on.
Yeah, I think probably ultimately that was the best decision. I don't think it's going to hamper his progression through these palaces.
At this point, not too much, but unfortunately, just just game overs and some early game overs and unfortunate spots has just put him really far behind. Yeah. That's a dead end.
Both players walking to the end of that dead end.
Yep. But they're really 100%ing this seed.
Yeah.
Shetty didn't actually dig the Yeti key out of P6, but still saw almost every single room in there anyway.
Paratroopa finds Karak very quickly.
Indeed. Actually, that's a good thing. He probably wants to be done with this terrible seed.
Yeah.
This seed's really been terrible. It says something that we're gonna be at tracker percent for Para today. Mm-hmm. And you never want to be at tracker percent. If nothing else, you really never want to see the cross.
Yeah.
You hopefully don't want to have to get all 3 of Trophy, Medicine, and Child.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that like the only way that the seed could have gone better for these runners if they had gotten the raft and been like, okay, I'm off to the eastern continent.
Screw the west, I'm off to the east.
Yeah.
If he somehow decided for whichever dumbass reason to skip everything on the west today, you win.
Yeah.
Because the west was completely useless. Other than the raft, there was absolutely nothing there. Rudo technically had thunder, but you had to go to the east for that. Like, thunder and raft, that was it on the west.
And you might have been able to get the any key a little bit earlier, but even then.
Ultimately, they wound up 100%ing the seed and finding every magic jar anyway. So...
Paratroopa.
Also, even the bots are being really, really, really tough today. They're only giving a paltry 3 experience too, so them being really tough is just rude.
Yeah. At this point, what's gonna win Shatty this game is that Para has to beat this Great Palace with 5, 6, 7.
I mean, I don't think Shatty's much of any better.
Oh yeah, I mean that's very true.
Shatty's
but,
worse. He's 5, 5, 6.
I mean, I think they're even. They've both got 2 palaces to go through, and since they're not going to double level anymore, they're going to end up even unless Shatty decides to go with a different leveling technique, strat, as it were.
But yeah, no, unfortunately taking really large numbers of life levels, which made sense considering the seed's been pretty tough. High life levels make sense, it just makes it that much harder to get the attack levels.
Yeah, and both players do have full magic bars.
They do. There's the flute for Shetty. That is go mode. Hour 31 minutes now. At least they'll sub
Very
2.
nice. It's very nice of the developers not to put key doors in the Great Palace.
There is that. There is that.
Dig Shake, can you put keys? Can you put doors in the Great Palace?
Oh man.
I'm more or less new to the Z2R scene, so I'm sure there's plenty of horrible things that people have talked about a bunch and people just decide to never speak of it again.
Mm-hmm. I only really got a bit more involved with Z2R with the tourney. I found out it existed during the Max Brando tourney a few months back, and done a bit of tracking here and there, but only started coming back in round 1 of Swiss a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool. I mean, I never commed for this before, but I have done like
Tracking.
Comms for esports as well.
Nice, yeah. Commentary skills carry over, and knowledge of the game helps a bunch.
Yeah,
I don't play it much myself, but it doesn't take that much knowledge.
Yeah, I started playing the randomizer. I started playing the randomizer because I actually started learning the 100% any key route.
Yeah. By the way, we've got chicken and waffles today. This is at least our 3rd waffle room this GP.
Yeah.
Complete with a blue fucker, as they're called in it.
It wouldn't be, it's really befitting this seed that they probably have to go through every single room in Great Palace.
Probably, because this seed, it's this seed.
It's like a homework seed. I don't know that Para ever got upstep. I don't think
good question, actually.
I'm guessing no.
I remember him being in Daruni, but I can't remember if he actually bothered getting it.
Okay.
Alright, Eon Drop. Gonna walk past it for right now. Shetty is having just as bad a time with Guma as Para was earlier, and there's T-Bird. Just past the Eon Drop.
Alright, now, I've seen certain runners game over to this thing like 10 or so times. So We'll see how
Yes.
Para fares. And by some runners, I mean myself.
You're not alone.
I know. I just wanted to make sure that people know I'm not talking about anyone in particular.
Yeah, well, other than yourself.
Yeah. But Par finding the pendulum, getting the rhythm down.
Losing it a little, but not too bad. Attack 5 is kind of sucky, but he's doing alright with it so far.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Okay, down to Thunderbird down to 2 bars. And still has most of his life bar left, so I think he should be okay here.
Yeah, this is going to be a victory for
Yep.
Para.
That is T-Bird down.
I'm sure Par feels really good about that.
Yeah, that was a pretty clean T-Bird fight. Attack 5 is not the easiest. And hey, welcome to another spicy chickens. Alright, time to keep going in GP. T-Bird is these bags, that's a dead end. So time to go up.
Shatty only one palace behind, and Karak is, if Shatty takes the same kind of routing that Pyro did, Karak is pretty close to the start.
It is, but... well, let's see how bad Darkling is. Unfortunately, well, there's only one route to take after T-Bird, and it's to go up.
Yeah.
Para finding the L7 room, I think? I can't remember room names.
Yeah.
And it's now going to keep exploring GP.
Her going past 2 Fakas, blue Fakas, without taking a single point of damage. I'm impressed.
Nice.
And finally,
That's a loop. That might be a loop, actually.
you know what? You're right.
That's a loop. Okay, time to go back up and try... I think he needs to go... Yep, he needs to go down in this room.
I think Para still has 2 lives.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, so that there was an absolute dead end. Hey, Katie Brower. Oh, wasn't a loop? Okay, it looked like a loop to me, but I also can't tell. My sense of direction's incredibly terrible, so... He does seem to be in a new room, at least, so time to go down. As Shatty finds Karak. I take extensive notes on locations, not because that's the only way to have any idea where anything is, but there is... That's Darkling for Para.
Yep.
Oh. GP not the absolute worst today. Had to deal with some chickens, but not overall too terrible.
Yeah. Para has shields, got plenty of life spells. This should be a good fight.
Well, if Darkling didn't and land on top of him every time, that would help.
Yeah. Darklink using advanced strats in this seed. The very first time I beat this game, I got to Darklink, and I was so stressed about it that I called the Nintendo Power Line. And that's going to be GG for Para.
Finishing here, first place, going to 1 and 2 in this tournament with a time of 137.48.
Excellently played there by Para.
GG's.
I think big respect to Shatty though for that, skipping the master key, and Shatty might be done. I will say, skipping the master key, I think he was at 1.2 palaces behind. He caught up, but unfortunately not enough to overtake.
No.
Are we going to get one or both of them in for the interview?
We'll see. Intruder alarms. We do, in fact, have both Paratroopa and Shatty joining us. GG's, guys. This seed sucked.
GG. I've seen worse, but that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It was such a grindy seed. Like, a lot of times, like, the really longer seeds are like puzzles. It's like, oh, I gotta go find this, and then this is all the way back in this, and this was just look at everything.
We saw everything. Well, we saw everything. I'm sharing myself. Oops. Streams. We saw everything but Death Mountain between the two of you.
Yeah, I didn't see the item in 4 either, but I got everything aside from that and the item in
4
Death Mountain.
and DM were the only thing. We have 1 heart container and 2 pieces of junk left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was why I ended up going to 5 in the end. Is like, well, there isn't really anything else out there that I would like to find, and I have to explore 5 anyway. And 5, you often have to go right before you're able to go left anyway. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go to 5, and hopefully it's a 1 in 3 chance. But I don't want to go back to Death Mountain. That's just a time sink, and that fortunately paid off. I'm very happy about that. Had a lot of things pay off, honestly.
Yeah, shoutouts to that Western continent being almost 100% useless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys found nothing there.
It was...
Of course you got the raft, and you technically got thunder, but that was it.
Yeah, it was pretty rough on the West continent. There was just really nothing there.
You guys spent 20 minutes exploring it, found a raft, and that was all you found.
I don't know how it went for Shatty, but I got 2 really big pieces of luck early on. I got the hint for the magic key in 6, and I got Bagu like really early.
You guys both had to, because
yeah,
there was nowhere else.
You guys actually, at the very beginning of the game, you used the same like mapping routes.
Yeah.
So it was one after the other. It's like, okay, hint for magic key, Bagu, and then you guys realized around the same time that you needed Bagu to explore the rest of the game.
Yeah, I really only went to that forest tile. I only went to that forest tile because I didn't want an encounter that was a non-forest tile, and I was like, well, I'll stop here, and it was Bagu, so like, I guess I'll pick up Bagu, because at that point I was like, maybe I need to go through Saria, but that seems unlikely, and then it turned out to be actually true, so I was very fortunate I found Bagu when I did, because that could have taken a long time, but it didn't.
Yeah. No, that seed hard bottlenecked you into go Bagu, skip the rest of the southern half because there's jack all there.
Yeah.
Go to the north, get the raft, and leave everything else behind and go east because the western continent's dead.
I'll say, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I'll say both of your decision making was almost identical. Really, the only thing that it came down to was at some point, I think it was his first trip to the eastern continent.
It was
game over, and
before finding Darunia and Old Kasudo.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, not finding those two that first trip really, really hurt.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, both you guys, you decided to go to P5 to find the flute. None of you went for Death Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
You guys found Bagu right away, and then went to Saria. You guys, found the boots. It was all pretty much the same. And I like what I liked from Shatty was the decision to skip getting the Master Key in Palace 6 to try and catch up. Was that intentional?
Yeah, I knew I had missed the drop, and so I knew where the item was, but when I saw the boss, I was like, I'm not going back for it.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I thought it was a really good play from you to Paratroopa to get it at the time, because this seed was terrible. Fairy was not cheap.
I might have skipped it if I had the flute already, but I knew that I think I knew the flute was needed by the time I was going to 6. I tried to go into 3 and 6 early. I went to 3 thinking it was 6, and then I kind of got I wasted a little bit of time there. Then I went to 6 and realized I didn't have enough magic to pull it off yet. So I left. But then by the time it came back, I was like, I still want the magic key because I know I'm gonna have to explore a little bit. So
Yeah.
I and you have to go right in 6 anyway. So I found it before I found the boss anyway, so it didn't really make a difference. I don't know what I would have done if I found Barba first. I think I probably would have gone back and looked for the key though.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad choice considering. I can see it either way, but Fairy was really expensive this seed. I don't think it ever got.
Yeah, I ended up getting 8 magic containers, but it was still rough. I would not have liked having to use Fairy to get through
You guys
5.
had like, I think you ended up with 5, 6, 7 at the end. Shatty was thinking like 5, 6, 6 or something similar.
That was another thing that
And
was really awful about this seed.
8 magic containers, 7 hurt containers.
Yeah.
We
That was
saw
the other thing that
almost
was-
everything.
That was the other thing that was awful about this seed was there was really no opportunities to level.
No.
P-bag drops were terrible,
Oh my god.
and there was just no real like farmable combats or anything. So
No. Like the
and that
enemy
mattered
brawl-
because of the cost of fairy. That did matter. So
Oh, I know. And the enemies are really tough too.
yeah,
Like really, really tough enemies. Even if you killed them, I remember just seeing you paratroopa getting like a big bot at the very beginning of GP.
Yeah.
it took like 16 hits to kill. Yeah,
And he just spent like he spent like 20 or 30 seconds killing a big bot.
yeah. Fortunately, I
And
managed
got a
to.
great sum of like, I think he got like 6 XP out of it or something too.
It was just kind of in the way. Didn't really have anything else I could do about it. Fortunately, I managed to avoid any really bad game overs in this seed. I think, which is really what's really key.
Yeah, it really came down to that. Yeah, Shatty taking an early game over on the east and missing Darunia and Old Kasuto down in the southeast corner there.
Yeah,
As
it's
a
a very
result-
very even matchup this seed. I really
Very
enjoyed
much so. Yeah, seed sucks though.
watching.
Don't they all?
This one is exceptionally terrible. Hey, we literally have 100% tracker percent for you on the free stream paratroopa.
Yep,
Yep.
that sounds about right. I actually don't mind that. Because I got shield and life, and I really like to get those. Fire was linked to life, which is really nice. Sometimes I don't mind the 100% seeds because I get to grind and have like lots of stuff going to GP. This is kind of a difficult GP, so I don't mind that.
Yeah, I went in circles a little, but it wasn't too bad. Once it got past T-Bird, though, it was pretty linear.
Yeah, the seed didn't really have any super bad combat situations, which those are worse to me than just having to go everywhere. Like I could deal with having to go everywhere. That probably plays to my strengths, if anything. So I didn't mind the seed too much. It's just very long. That's all.
Yeah, this was long. Hour 37 is not a particularly fast finish.
No, not even 6 gems. No.
Yeah.
The only thing that confused me was paratroopa. Do you normally skip upstab?
Yeah, I took
Okay.
it last race and it didn't pay off, so I didn't take it this time.
Gotcha.
Mm.
I was half expecting upstab to her card when I got to GP just because of the way the rest of the seed went, but
Yeah.
it's pretty rare that it's required. So
Wasn't quite that mean. Speaking of, though, I would have laughed really, really hard if it was like the last heart container in P5 and then Flute was just sitting in Hammer Cave the whole dang time.
yeah, that would have been possible. That would have. I was expecting that too, but it didn't happen.
Because you guys could have gotten Hammer Cave over going east. I mean, I don't see why you would,
Yeah.
but it was a choice.
Yeah.
Oh man, although this seed, if you rushed Bagu and Suri and then just found Raft and just said bye-bye to the West, you would have been fine because the West was useless.
Yeah, it didn't take that long to explore it though.
Not the worst, but
That
you
wasn't
did spend
really.
like
Yeah.
20 minutes total finding absolutely jack all. All the spells that were useless, life shield, spell. Jump was one of the first things to get on the east.
hmm
Like, we knew pretty quick this was going to be 100% C just because of how much junk we were finding.
Yeah.
Just everything but what you needed.
Well, with that, is there any further questions for Shatty or Paratroopa from chat or either of the two comms?
Not especially.
I'm good.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, GG's to you both. Shetty, unfortunately,
GG.
I do believe that you are, with 3 losses, pretty much out of this tourney.
To be expected. My goal is still
Yeah.
1 win, so keep grinding here.
Good luck. Good luck.
Paratroopa,
Thank
you
you.
still have a chance if you manage to win both of your next matches, so good luck to you both.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yep. And I'd like to take this moment to thank our commentators, Star and Ghost Dunk. You guys are awesome. You volunteer for a lot of these, so um, as always, you're awesome. And thanks to our trackers, Jinxie Girl and also Star, pulling double duty here. Without them, this doesn't run near as smoothly. And shout out to our runners. Please give them a follow. They're awesome. Can't hold these tournaments without them. So, and with that, I think we're going to go ahead and raid C Falcon, who is practicing for an MMR tourney match this Sunday. And we will see everyone next time.
Have a good night.